What is up, fellow Titans? Welcome to a very exciting Titan Season 4 news update video. Also got to chuck in a little bit of Doom Patrol Season 4 updates there as well, because we've got quite a bit to discuss. Lex Luthor's announcement with the casting, a promo photo of Corey and Lex Luthor, and the showrunner Greg Walker talking about his role with Superboy. We've also got other little teasers for what's coming up with promo. So honestly, the way I'm seeing this right now makes me very giddy, because it just feels as though the ball has started rolling when you get Entertainment Weekly exclusive articles highlighting the upcoming season. You know that's when we're getting the match of the marketing igniting for what's to come. And I'm not saying like there's gonna be tons of promo like in 3 days from now, but the ball truly has started rolling. So before we get into that article that reveals the casting for Lex Luthor, as well as the season description / synopsis for both shows, let's first talk about the release date for Titans Season 4, because we also got that quite a few days ago now, which is revealed to be November. Now, as of right now, there is no specific day in November. It could be November 15th, it could be November 23rd. I don't think it will be towards the very beginning of November, but I could be wrong. One thing that could give us some kind of hint, but really this doesn't guarantee anything at all, is that Titans released their episodes on HBO Max during Season 3 on Thursdays, if I remember correctly. So even though, as I said, that doesn't guarantee the same day this year, it is a possibility. As for Doom Patrol, right now, to my knowledge, there is no firm solidified month or let alone day for the Season 4 of Doom Patrol release. That maybe makes me think if it's not November, it could even be December, but I'll have to keep you updated, so do stay subscribed for future content on Doom Patrol, as well as, of course, Titans. And since I haven't said it already, do remember to give this video a like, as it really does help my content grow. Now, I know I keep teasing it. I am going to get into that article about Lex Luthor, but there is really exciting stuff coming up with regards to more promo that I think you guys are really going to want to pay attention to. And that is, we have Titans heading to New York Comic Con October 6th to 9th, as well as Doom Patrol, of course. The DC Titans Twitter page posted, "Join us for a kick-ass panel, our Star Labs booth, and a few more surprises as we get ready for Season 4. So just know that on this channel, make sure you subscribe with those notifications on, because we will be doing a very in-depth breakdown on any new information and promo that we get, especially given that they say in addition to the cool little Star Labs booth that they're setting up there, they have a few more surprises as we get ready for Season 4. Now, usually at New York Comic Con in previous years, we'll get the showrunner and various members of the cast talk quite a lot about the upcoming season. Of course, they don't give away tons about the season with regards to in-depth spoilers, but usually it's actually pretty insightful information. And speaking of which, we actually do have descriptions of both shows' panels, as well as a very vague description of both seasons of Doom Patrol and Titans, and what kind of stuff they're going to give away in terms of teasers. So to give you an idea, for Titans, it says, in the upcoming 4th season, debuting this November on HBO Max, having saved Gotham, the Titans hit the road to head back to San Francisco. But after a stop in Metropolis, they find themselves in the crosshairs of a supernatural cult with powers unlike anything they faced before. Join showrunner and executive producer Greg Walker and series star Brenton Thwaites, and more to be announced cast for a preview of the upcoming season, including first looks, exclusive reveals, and more. Now, that's going to take place on Sunday, October 9th, but that's exactly what I mean. We're going to have the showrunner there. You're going to have the moderator kind of asking him questions. He's going to ambiguously tease some things, probably say how great Joseph Morgan is as their main villain. It'd be really awesome, given the fact that we could get some surprises and reveals, as they describe at New York Comic Con, if they do a suit concept reveal for not only Beast Boy, but Joseph Morgan's brother Blood. That would be really awesome. I don't expect a full promo or full trailer or anything like that. I think we'd be pretty lucky to have some kind of sizzle reel, but technically they have filmed basically all the season now, but that doesn't mean they've edited loads and loads of it, but maybe they have enough to show a little teaser, but I could be wrong. But regardless, I do expect description teasers, maybe certain directions that characters are going to go. Now, as for Doom Patrol, it says, in the upcoming 4th season, the team unexpectedly travels to the future to find an unwelcome surprise. Faced with their imminent demise, the Doom Patrol must decide once and for all which is more important, their own happiness or the fate of the world. Join series stars Brendan Fraser, Diane Guerrero, April Bowlby, Javan Wade, and Michelle Gomez for an exclusive discussion and first look of the upcoming season. So again, first looks, that sounds insane. I really can't wait for that. Again, with Doom Patrol, I'm very, very on top of Doom Patrol news, so anything we get coming out of that, I will be covering it on the channel. But what I want to say at the same time, with regards to Doom Patrol and Titans from New York Comic Con, I'm not sure what extent of things that they show there will be shown to the public. I mean, it's possible that they relay some stuff to the public space online after showing it at New York Comic Con, but some things may be exclusive for those who attend. But no matter what, I do expect details at the very least and teasers from the showrunner to be covered by the press who attend, so there'll be lots of things still coming out, and hopefully, no matter what, the official pages for Titans on Twitter and whatever social media will be saying, hey, we released this at New York Comic Con, and it could be like the Beast Boy concept art suit, Ryan Potter wearing it, Joseph Morgan, maybe some more episode stills and stuff like that. So I do still expect quite a bit of info to get out, even if you don't attend the Comic-Con. Alright guys, so finally, let's talk about the exclusive Entertainment Weekly article showcasing our first proper promotional still, if you will, of Lex Luthor, not only announcing the casting, but quite a bit more than that, because Greg Walker sat down and had a bit of a chat, and this is what I mean with regards to the marketing starting to be a little match that is lit up now, because obviously November Titans is releasing, we're now approaching October, so yeah, let's dig into this. So the headline is as follows: Titans showrunner previews Titus Welliver's arrival as Lex Luthor. So they go and say that it turns out that the Bosch star is a huge fan of DC Comics and barely had to be convinced to play the infamous supervillain. Casting Titus Welliver in Titans was not a hard sell. Though best known for playing the hard-nosed titular detective on Bosch, Welliver is actually a big comics fan, as Titans showrunner Greg Walker discovered when he called the actor to pitch him on playing Lex Luthor. And this sounds awesome, by the way. Not only is he a very capable actor, but one who is way more familiar with the source material than what I expected. So Greg Walker goes on to say, you usually have to do this whole dog and pony show to get an actor to do the show. But when I called to kind of lure him in, I could barely get a word in. We were talking on the phone and he was just walking through his library, telling me about all of his Wolfman/Perez Titans editions. He's a giant fan. He'd watched every episode of the show and could tell me about certain stories, certain shots. It was the most unexpected call I've ever had. So even just hearing that makes me excited. No, I was excited for Lex Luthor anyway. Ever since Superboy joined the show and we saw the little Lex Luthor at Lionel's Luthor's house in the photo frame, and we got the teasers of the clones in Cadmus Labs and Mercy Graves and what was going on there when Lex was on the other line of the phone call with her. I've been wanting that side of Comic Con to be explored, so it's fantastic that we're going to get more of that this season, or the first time we actually delve into it, as with what they're about to tease, which is when we get the photo of Starfire and Lex Luthor talking. It seems that modern Lexes in live action, if you count Supergirl as well, have a bit of a beard. This is an awesome promo shot going along with the announcement. I do also wonder why he's talking Starfire here. Random shot in the dark, because this could literally be about anything, but since we know that Connor Kent is evidently going to meet Lex Luthor, maybe Lex has taken the journey to meet Connor at wherever they're staying, but Mother Bear, Starfire, runs into Lex first, and maybe they have a little bit of a stern conversation, because I assume that the Titans members know of this prolific Lex Luthor. I mean, at this point in his life, considering the age of the other characters, Superman's already out there, Bruce Wayne, England's already out there. You'd have to think that people are pretty knowledgeable about this guy, even though Starfire only kind of recently came to Earth. So I can't imagine Corey, who's quite protective of Connor, if we remember, would be too happy about that. And Connor, as well, knows what Lex has done. You know, created him. Other clones that he was looking at the freaking Star Wars Bacta tanks of, if you remember. So it is going to be very interesting to see that. So let's talk about some of those teasers. So they go and say, Welliver's Luthor, who you can see in a first look photo above, poses an interesting challenge for the Titans. Despite being one of the most infamous supervillains in the DC canon, he's still just human. His threat is intellectual and psychological. He has a very sensitive, thoughtful approach to evil and power. You know what he's done, what he's capable of doing, except like many of those people, he's personable. He doesn't have a cat on his lap. Yeah, he's curious, which I think is very interesting about his character. He wants to know about people and what makes them tick, and how they're different from him. He sees the world through the lens both of his own power and his own inadequacy, and tries to compensate for both. Luthor is particularly threatening for Superboy. Connor, Joshua Orpin, was created from a combination of Superman's DNA with Luthor's. This season, Connor will finally have to reckon with what that means. We're really going deeper in all of these characters and shaking them up, Walker says. What shakes Connor up is an identity story. He's explored his Superman self, but he has not really explored his Lex self. What does that mean when you do? What happens when you give that self the keys to the car? Does it start driving the wrong way at rush hour, 100 miles an hour? Which is a really good description that makes me quite excited, because obviously, they say he's explored his Superman side. I feel like that hasn't happened nearly as much compared to even what we're going to get with Lex Luthor, because maybe it's because of limitations of the show licensing and whatnot. They haven't been able to have Clark Kent come on board and just have a conversation with Superboy. I think the best way of tackling that is, I know it would suck for fans who have wanted to see it, but if we're never going to get it, maybe they could say that in between seasons, in a line between Connor and Gar, hey, how did that chat with Clark go, or Superman go? I heard that Dick got Bruce to arrange that meeting. That would have been awesome, but regardless, the fact that he is going to meet Lex is going to be very interesting, especially if you take into account that he hasn't canonically met, in the canon of the show, Superman. The only person or parental figure that he would have met is Lex Luthor. And even though he knows there's a bad side to him because he's been told about Lex before, he's seen what we've already described as the failed clones, he still might get roped in a bit. I know during Titans Season 3, supposedly Connor's mental maturity zoomed forward a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see, as they describe here, how he will reckon with that. Because don't forget as well, he was like brainwashed and he was going to be sold off to the highest bidder at the end of Titans Season 2 when they had that little battle with Superboy before he snapped out of it. So when he meets him, I hope he remembers, hey, he did this. He was willing to sell me off to this person, but now Lex is coming in wanting to like get an ice cream in Metropolis Park. I don't know. But either way, I think the fact is that Connor is, at the end of the day, a clone. He has found a family with the Titans, but there is still a longing for identity there, I think. A connection that he wants to understand this somewhat heritage, if you will, even though he's a clone, that he's made up of two people. 50% of him is Clark, but 50% of him is Lex. And Lex, what I do like here is he's not so much a one-dimensional villain, doing evil things for evil's sake. The way Greg Walker described him here is actually very accurate to the character of Lex, with how he sees the world through the lens both of his own power and yet his own inadequacy, and tries to compensate for both, which as a result gives you the actions of and the person that makes up Lex Luthor. So with Connor exploring that literal 50-50% side of himself and going down the Lex Luthor 50% side, you have to think that maybe there'll be a bit of an internal conflict here. He's literally probably going to be manipulated by Lex, knowing himself and trying to bring out those traits in Connor. So maybe there's going to be a little bit of a darker side to Connor this season, which ultimately still achieves this equilibrium of the Superman side and the Lex side, but nevertheless, it will be an interesting journey to watch unfold. And also, it is encouraging to hear Greg Walker almost echo what Ryan Potter's Beast Boy said at Dragon Con with how they've listened to fan criticism. There's going to be quite a lot more teamwork this season with the Titans. And just before going deep on the Superboy talk, he did say, as what we've already mentioned, we're really going deeper in all these characters and shaking them up. So sounding like, he said the word all, so all of the Titans. So I'm really looking forward to that. So ultimately, that's everything on the Lex Luthor stuff. Let me know what you think, not only about the casting, but everything that the showrunner Greg Walker had to say, and let me know any theories that you have for the story of Superboy and Lex this season down in the comments as well. So the last two updates are a very brief one from Screen Rant, who had the chance to interview Anna Diop, and I hope I pronounced that correctly this time. So they say, in Screen Rant's exclusive interview with Diop about Toronto International Film Festival selection Nanny, which is set for release on November 23rd, she teased details about Titan Season 4. Specifically, she said a romance that people have been desperately seeking is in the cards for next season. Check out what Diop had to say below. Is there anything else that I can tease? Well, there's some long-awaited romance that people have been desperately seeking, so I hope that I'll finally stop getting DMs about this, and she laughs. That is exactly what we've been expecting. We recently got some promo photos that I included in the last Titans updates of Dick Grayson and Starfire seemingly going for a romantic meal. They're definitely going to have that flame rekindled, so to speak, so that should be making Dickory stands go crazy right now. And the other small update that we have to cap off this video is that we have the DC Titans Brazil Twitter page posting a new picture from Eric Dean Seaton's page on Instagram, who is directing Season 4, Episode 7, which is the episode that Ryan Potter wrote with Jeff Johns. And it's very vague, don't get me wrong, but you have some guys in military uniforms here, and people are speculating if this is a bit of a flashback for Gar, considering that his origin when getting injected in Congo when he was in the military and then he became Beast Boy. I wonder if this is exploring some of his military time. I could be wrong, but let me know any ideas you have down in the comments. But that wraps up this Titans news update video. It felt so refreshing to make this one because it was consisting of a lot more official news, and this is just the beginning. So there's going to be a lot more promo coming out over the next couple of months as we get closer to Titans. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, click the notification button and set them to all so you never miss out on a crucial update, especially with regards to New York Comic Con. As always, would appreciate a like on the video. Do check out the links in the description below for my social media and my Discord server, but I think that's just about everything. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you fellow Titans and Doom Patrollers in the next video. Goodbye.